Hey guys, today we're going to talk about meditation, but the way we're going to do that is we're going to talk about seduction. 17 years ago, I started going to school for psychology, university for psychology, and I didn't like the material. So what I did was I just went to all the classes and passed the tests, wrote the 10-page papers, got a degree. However, during all my free time, I was playing hockey, but besides that, I would read everything I could get my hands on, and I studied the topics of psychology that I was interested in. So after a few years, I was getting into really deep level stuff that I didn't know existed up until this point. And I was meditating, and I was building alternate realities and going in them and living them and using them to manipulate the physical realm. And this was a long time ago, right? So we're going to learn the very first technique that I ever learned. And I promise you, if you start this, it's going to evolve in your own way into all sorts of things that you will use in your life for many, many different reasons. And it's going to evolve for you. That's all I can say. So what I'm going to tell you today is just the first thing that I ever learned in regards to meditation. And it's basically how to seduce in a very indirect way, which it was awesome for me because I was an introvert. I was a little shy, so instead of approaching girls, I would sort of go into their dreams and pull them to me from their dream realm. So this technique I'm going to talk about today is, I learned it. It was called the color entrainment method or color entrainment technique, one of the two. And I think it was in a book called Psychic Seduction, which was an ebook. And I'm not sure if the person who made that book came up with color entrainment method. However, I just want to give credit to what has changed my life, because this was my portal into an entire world of you're going to see. Okay, so the purpose or the loose goal of this is to get your brain waves into a theta state. At least that's what they're saying. And what that means is you're going to be sort of leaving your physical body behind and taking the part of you that isn't attached to all of this into another realm. And within that realm, you're going to be able to lucidly create situations based on your intentions, which is how all of this works anyways. But doing it in a non-physical way will allow you to eventually graduate to a point where you can start making all the necessary intentional shifts within the physical reality automatically, which is what I do now. So, color entrainment technique, if you want to look it up. I'm going to go over what I remember of how it works. I don't use it anymore. Like I said, if you use it and you use it regularly, it'll evolve into something else. And I can tell you that this changed my life. This absolutely changed my life. I lived in a house with 3 other guys who played hockey and, partying and drinking. I didn't drink in college at all. So when all this sort of crazy college stuff was going on, I was in my room laying on my ground doing this stuff and just really exploring. So I want to share with you guys the very first method I use in meditation. And meditation itself it means many different things. So with this method, it's going to take about, let me think, like 5 or 6 minutes to get deep, maybe up to 10 minutes to get into that deep state. And once you get there, you can do your work. So what it involves is using your sort of visual part of your mind to take your brain frequencies into the same harmonic resonance of the earth. And from there, you can communicate and exchange information with anything else on this planet. It's really cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down and just try and clear your mind from all the distractions that you have on your daily basis. Relax, do some relaxed, maybe even forced deep breath. And once you're letting go as much as possible, you start using your eyes are closed, but what you're going to do is you're going to focus on the colors of the rainbow. So the colors of the rainbow go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. So you're going to have to kind of memorize that, okay? So I always stuck to the primary colors as my markers. So we got red, yellow, blue, right? And then so if you think what red and yellow combine with, we got orange. And then yellow and blue combines to get green. And then after blue is violet. So that's kind of really easy to remember. But because you're meditating, you don't want to be straining your mind too much. So you're going to have to come up with a device to sort of know which color is next, because you don't want to like wake up and then look at a list that you wrote down. So just think rainbow, and however you can memorize red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, okay? So what you're going to do is for 30 seconds to a minute, you're going to fill your visual centers with the color red. So you can do this many different ways, and you're going to get creative. So what I would do is I would think about like the Kool-Aid man with red Kool-Aid, and he's pouring it out, and he pours out his like red liquid. It's going all over, and then maybe it hits a wall that's red, and it goes up a cliff into a red sky. Like basically everything that you can think of that's red. Apples. You bite into the apple, and the inside of the apple is red. You throw it up in the air, and a car hits it, and the car's red with red wheels and red rims and a red road, and even the stripes on the red road are red with red dirt and red rocks, and like you're just trying to think red, 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 red. Okay? Once you get like the more details the better. So when you're thinking about the apple, think about all the little, right? It's not just smooth. There's like little things on it, and all those things are red, but you see like just red. Red stem goes into the like hole at the top of the apple. It's just red. Red, red, red. You're just obsessively thinking about red. 30 seconds to a minute of that, and then you do the same thing with orange. Oranges. Peel it open. Even the inside of the orange, which is usually white, no, this time it's orange. The orange is orange. Orange. There's a orange Corvette, right? With orange seats and orange gas pedal and orange tires. You pop up with a hood, it's an orange engine. So I used memories of things that I sort of know vividly. I know what cars look like, right? I see them every single day. I know what the road looks like. I know what the ground looks like. I know what walls look like. Except I'm just replacing all of my memories with the colors. So everything I can think about, books, cookingware, right? Forks, all orange. For some reason, they're all orange. And you're just orange, orange, orange. So we go through all the colors like that. Whatever you think of, right? You might have a friend that had a purple motorcycle, right? And you remember that so vividly. And so that's like the memory that you always pull up with the color violet, purple. And the stronger it is, the more you can visualize, the harder you can visualize, the better. It's just intensely focus on the color and make everything the color, right? So if it's the purple motorcycle, the tires are purple, the grips are purple, even the exhaust coming out of it's purple. Maybe you see things that I'm not even explaining, right? Kool-Aid Man was always a cool one because I could change the color of his Kool-Aid inside. And he could break through a wall that's the same color as him. Okay, so once you go through all the colors, then you imagine yourself. So you're actually going to start feeling yourself get more relaxed, right? Because these colors go from, they change frequency. And I can talk more about this later, but it doesn't really belong in this video. As you're changing your frequency to get, I believe it's lower, but it might be higher. I don't remember. I mean, everything is everything, right? So you're adjusting to get to violet, and once you get to violet, you imagine yourself at the top of a staircase. 21 stairs. Now these stairs can be made up of anything. They could be wooden stairs, they can be glass stairs, they can be crystal stairs, they can be stairs made of smoke, whatever it is. I always had a handrail for some reason because I just didn't want to have to concentrate on standing. By this time, your physical sensations might be leaving you, and then you're actually dreaming. You're actually lucidly dreaming by this point. So like I said, for some reason that handrail, I always needed it because I was really walking down the stairs and I really wanted to focus on what I had to focus on, and I didn't want to have to focus on standing up. So I always had a handrail for some reason. So 21 stairs, each step you walk down, it's going to be getting darker around you. So you're going from like a purple sort of sense into black, blacker, 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 right? So all the colors are fading away and you're just going into darkness. Just walking down 21 stairs. So when you get down to the 21 stairs, so again, what's important here is focusing on the darkness, not so much on what the stairs look like. You are you're gonna feel like you're walking down eventually. Once you get some practice in, it's gonna feel like you're not gonna know that you're laying down on the ground or on your bed anymore. You're actually gonna be walking down the stairs. When you get down to the very bottom, the 21st stairs, pitch black. By the way, I might be making some mistakes, so I want to let you guys know I'm not at all associated to color entrainment technique or method, whatever it's called. I'm not a prescribed practitioner of these people, so please look them up. I'm just giving you my remembrance of this, but I don't want to misrepresent them because some things I might be saying might be my own adjustment of this technique. So when you get down to the 21st stairs, it's all black. Everything's black. Everywhere you can see. You're looking around, you're in the void, okay? Complete emptiness, no light anywhere. You don't even really exist at this point. It's just black. And then all of a sudden you see a doorway. So let's just say an entrance. It doesn't even necessarily need to be a door, but for the sake of this explanation, I'm going to use a door. And this door can be anything, and sometimes it's different things at different moments. But it could be a wooden door, a metal door, a door made of light, right? The key is that you open the door up, or it opens on itself, whatever happens, whatever you intend, and you walk through it. Now, when you walk through this door, this is the different realm. And this is where you can make whatever you want happen, right? Ultimately, you're the observer and controller and creator of this world. So, I mentioned seduction earlier. So I'm going to tell you how I use this a few times in my life, and it has failed me never. This has never failed me. Let's say you go through and you're in a dream realm and you're flying, right? You're just soaring above the clouds and you come down, you land on top of a mountain, right? Because you can do whatever you want in this realm. Like I said, this is how I started, and this is very powerful. So I want to urge you to be careful when you're using these techniques, because in my experience, this is not fake, this is real. And with this sort of power comes responsibility. So when we're doing this, just be careful. Be careful. So I would imagine, let's say there is a girl in my life who I would like to draw to myself. So I would imagine her, again, with great detail. She wouldn't be any colors, she would just be her. And then I would start seducing her, right? So whatever I felt like would sexually arouse, and you guys can go on with your creative imagination from there, that would happen in this realm. Now here's another sort of trick. do this at nighttime. If you're looking to help out another person's decision making, do this at a time when you know that they're not distracted. So maybe when they're probably going to sleep or they're winding down for the day. Back then, people didn't have iPhones where they're like this all the time. So at nighttime, you usually were sort of like winding down. And you would do your work, and within their dreams or within their non-physical self, there would be communication happening through this energetic matrix that we're all existing in. Okay, so if you have any specific questions on this, feel free to email me. I don't want to turn this into a seduction talk. What's most important is that this is how I learned to meditate, and I learned about this whole other reality which could be used to create things within this reality. So that actually happened. It's failed me zero times. So anytime I did this with a woman, I never had to approach them. They would be drawn to me and it would happen. Like I said, I don't use this technique anymore because there's massive shortcuts where I don't have to do the colors anymore. I don't have to do the stairs. I don't have to do the dream world because this has turned into my dream world. This is that realm. They merge eventually. So other things you can do is once you get down into the realm, and let's say you're sick or you need some healing or something on you is a little achy or you have some emotional trauma, these things can be sort of left behind. You can use this reality to suck that stuff out of you, and you can not bury it but dissipate it. So one of the things you can do is imagine like a hot spring, right? And you get into it, and when you're sitting there, this stuff that you want out of you starts coming out of you as like a black liquid, let's say, or fog or something, into this hot springs. And once you feel cleared, then you get out of the hot springs and it closes. And then let's say it closes and squeezes. There's all different types. You can close and then like have it unravel into something more pleasant, right? So that at least it's still not in you, it's outside of you, but then it's not bundled up anywhere in the universe, right? It gets transmuted into something else, or it feeds the grass, let's say. This is also in some many other methods use this similar tactic. Inside this realm, you can also, let's say you got all that stress, right? You have all that stress from work and it's getting on you. You like feel what that feels like, right? And within this realm, you might have a different relationship to the things that are getting to you, or the things that are pleasing you. Within this realm, it might exist as something else, right? So you might have cords coming out of you attaching yourself to positive and negative things, and you can just decide, like, snip. You can just detach yourself or attach yourself to things, pull realities towards you, but be careful. Be mindful is the better terminology, because it's not all about just like getting $100,000 and living the free life. It's all the more powerful you get, the more responsibility necessary. Let me think really quick, make sure I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Yes. So those of you who've never meditated before, this is an excellent technique, and it's very easy, right? Just colors. So once again, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. 21 stairs. When you're going down the stairs, you're going into darkness. These you all visualize for 30 seconds to a minute. And boom, door in and create. And create good stuff. I want to live in your guys' dream world. So create, and we can all participate with you. Okay, guys, have fun.